Hello everyone and welcome to Lush and Salty Aquariums. My name is Stefan and thank you for coming to the channel. So I'm back at this tank, the 32 gallon long with the fancy white cloud mountain minnows, and I wanted to talk about a couple problems. One not so new and one I just discovered this evening. The blackbeard algae is the longer term problem, and it doesn't bother me as much, at least the last couple weeks until it did right now. So this evening, I'm just like looking at it going, no, not on my watch. I got to do something about this. I have a couple options, and the first one is going to be incorporating the true Siamese algae eater, which is one of the few known imbibers of the dreaded blackbeard algae. Now, a whole bunch of cleanup crew will work on algae in general, and to some degree, things like Otocinclus, mystery snails, and amano shrimps will do a little bit of work on this, but that's debatable online and in forums, and even if they did do something, it's just not nearly enough. And the Siamese algae eater is the great reckoner of blackbeard algae. My experience has been positive in other tanks when I've used them for that reason. The biggest dilemma I have is they get pretty big, right? And so for nano tanks, a 5-inch fish just is, I had that issue and I couldn't catch it out. So unfortunately it just kind of was like Shamu the whale. It just sort of sat around on the bottom, fat and happy, but it was eating all sorts of fish food and anything other than algae at the end there. And so that can happen. Nevertheless, in the short term, if you get juveniles, they'll really have at it. So I'm looking to incorporate 3 into this tank. Now, the other problem is a new one, and a new one for me in the Fish Room 2.0, and that's one of these lovely fish I discovered has a white fungus on the side of its basically the middle of the body. And if I can find him while I'm looking, I will point him out, not to degrade him or body shame him, but I want to show you what I was seeing. It's pretty conspicuous and gross. It's on a male, and it's only on one side, and it's only on that one fish. Now, in the header for this video, I got a photo of it, but I'm not feeling it here right now on live. Now maybe you've already seen him because it's hard to talk and film and also look for a specific fish. So what am I gonna do about that? All right, so that's where it gets tricky online. There's all sorts of debate about what the proper medication would be. Maricin by Fritz being kind of #1, and API as a product, and then there's Fritz Maricin 2, and one of them works on negative bacteria and the other on positive, and that's a dumbing down of the facts. And they both can be detrimental to beneficial bacteria, which sucks, right? And I don't want that to happen in this tank. So what I'm gonna do, and what nobody debates on the merits of, everybody is thumbs up, is significant water changes. I did one right before filming, and I'll do another tomorrow morning, whether I treat or not. And it's possible just by lowering the nitrates with like a water change will do, and everything else, it'll clear the water, which will not give the bacteria, if that's what it is, on the side of the fish any more reason to exist, and maybe even it will begin to diminish. So there are other treatments like salt water, but I can't treat this tank with salt. There's just too many plants, and things like Balacenaria are particularly sensitive to medical treatments. And I don't want to kill the beneficial bacteria in my canister filter and everywhere else in this tank, right? And maybe add problems while I'm trying to solve another. So I'm in a bit of a conundrum. I'll probably buy the Marison and do exactly as they say, but I haven't decided that yet. But I did do the water change, and I'll do another one tomorrow and then a third, and maybe I'll just do intensive water changing as a primary treatment, cleaning the tank, treating the canister. Now that'll take a hit on the cycling and the basic beneficial bacteria that's already in this tank, but so be it, right? That's a little less invasive. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's a little less drastic than anything chemical. So what caused the blackbeard algae, and for that matter the fungus? Are they related? Is my bio load too significant? I do tend to overstock, not understock, but I mitigate or offset that by heavily planting my tanks, which remove nitrates and take out all the bio waste. At least that's what I want them to do. That's what they're supposed to do, and that of course is what they do. But is it enough? Clearly something got to that one fish, and I can't catch him out. I mean, I could. I tried but failed, but I could keep trying and treating him with salt water, a saltwater bath. That's a popular treatment in the saltwater aquarium hobby. It's vice versa. You put the saltwater fish in fresh water for 30 seconds or 2 minutes, and it kills whatever's on their skin. So the inverse could be true here. Put salt, which is a great cure-all, really. It's been used by people for just millennia, and it works for freshwater fish too. It'll just, when you got a cut and you would be told to like jump in the salt water, even though we've learned that's where other things can go wrong in general, that notion of using salt to clean a wound. And so that's an option for me, especially if I could catch him out, because I'm not going to treat this tank with salt water. So in summation, one white cloud mountain minnow has some body fungus. It appears as a white patch with sort of a protuberance, which it's disgusting, and I couldn't find a live picture of that for you. And I have blackbeard algae. So Siamese algae eaters, heavy water treatments, and a good cleaning of the filter are all in the next 24 hours. And I'll let you know how it goes. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. If you have any ideas, tips, tricks, comments, I'd love to hear them, because I do not know exactly what to do. I'm just going to follow sort of my best path as I learn through my research and my history in the hobby. But I'd love to hear from you. Fungus on the side of freshwater fish, what do you like to do about it? And blackbeard algae, talked about all the time, but what are your favorite methods for treating, if you even have any beyond what I've talked about? Okay, thank you everybody. Ciao for now.